We got the West Side Showdown. We're going to do an NFC West season review, grades, getting right to it. Why should you watch? We're going to let you know everything about the NFC West in this quick, snappy review with some fun, rapid fire questions at the end. Let's go.
All right, guys. The Arizona Cardinals trusted the recently trendy process and really sold out for a championship the last 2 years in order to capitalize on who they thought was their savior in Kyler Murray. While it was a high percentage gamble, it surely didn't pay dividends with a bulk of their free agents they acquired during the time retiring or jumping ship, and serious questions being raised about Kyler's happiness in the area, as well as maturity concerns and inability to lose with class. This year will be Buda Baker and Isaiah Simmons patching up the defense, and with the looks of the offensive cast, they might have a chance at highest scoring players on that side of the ball as well. I mean, James Conner and Zach Ertz are great, but you'd be a lot happier if this was 2018. We have a special place in F-Town for this roster, as it will take a few years to right this ship, depending on what dominoes fall, and I'm curious to see which one of those happen.
All right, third in the division is the Rams. They're coming in with a C grade. The Rams, man, they seem like one of the biggest boom or bust teams. I had a very hard time giving them a grade, and I really don't know how this season's really going to play out for them. On one hand, they have Matthew Stafford returning from injury. They have the best wide receiver coming back in Cooper Kupp, the best defensive player in the league in Aaron Donald. All those guys should be healthy and back on the team. But then you remember the rest of the roster has a lot of unknowns. They don't have any draft picks, so they're not replenishing it with the young guys. They haven't really been able to go out and sign very many key free agents. I know they got Bobby Wagner, but his best days, I believe, are behind him. Stafford's health still scares me because I don't really know what version I'm going to get from him. Am I going to get, Super Bowl winning Matthew Stafford, or am I going to get what I saw last year with Matthew Stafford? So that really scares me. All in all, I don't know what I'm going to get as a Ram, but I don't think you're going to be as bad as last year. So that's a positive. But the offensive line also is not very good. So I think 6-7 wins. Maybe you push 8. I think that's what you should expect. The only positive you have is at least you're in the NFC. So maybe you can push for a wild card spot, but I wouldn't be optimistic about that one.
The Seahawks fans have a lot to be excited about. With the journey to find an answer at quarterback complete, they're on to bigger goals. With a supporting cast around Geno like Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, plus a running game and a bolstered up front squad, I think this team is looking scary. Any Pete Carroll team has the ability to win in the postseason. The answer to success beyond that is this unit staying healthy and whether or not that defense can get it together. I have high hopes, but also think there's just a few teams out there better. And with the bits of and pieces of uncertainty, we're going to be giving them a B minus.
And first in the division, we think is the 49ers. I know this isn't a surprise. I've seen a few people, for some reason, put the Seahawks, but we all know the 49ers are the best team in this division. They come with an A minus grade. They have the best roster in the league. If you take out the quarterback position, I firmly believe that. The problem is I don't know how much I can trust Sam Darnold. If Brock Purdy misses extended time recovering, we really don't know the situation. I know there's a lot of optimism that he might be able to start the beginning of the season, but how's that elbow going to affect him? And I just don't know. And until I know what I have at QB, that minus is going to stay next to that A. Now, for the rest of the team, it is freaking stacked. You have Bosa, Kittle, McCaffrey, Debo leading the way. So even with the QB concerns, this is still a double-digit win team. Their only problem is the QB. Is it going to be able to get them over the hump? This is a playoff team, but can they win a Super Bowl? I don't know if Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold can accomplish that. So I'm a little reluctant to put them in that A tier with those elite teams. They're a good team, but not an elite team yet until I can see it from the QB position. The biggest question looking forward, though, honestly, is how much trade capital can you recoup from the Trey Lance trade? Can you get anything back from him because you gave up a lot? And the dude is an absolute bust star. And move on, 49ers. I think Brock Purdy can be a good quarterback going forward, but I just don't know how far he can take you this year. So they get an A minus. They win the division, but y'all really care about is how they do in the playoffs, and I just don't know. Now it's time for some rapid fire questions, Mike. I got some good ones for you. Who will have the better season, Geno Smith or Matthew Stafford?
Oh man, I think it has to be Geno Smith here. Matthew Stafford, in my opinion, is definitely on his way out of the league. He has definitely won his championship and done a good job, but I don't think he's one of those guys that wants to keep it up past that point. I also think that he has some physical limitations. Well, Geno is just getting started. I mean, he's been in the league for a while, but I think he's really just finally getting his opportunity, and he understands that with a contending team and to truly fully start with the chance at the postseason at the beginning of the season as well, all well within your idea of that. And also, I think 30 touchdowns to 11 interceptions with your first time really starting for a team with 4,200 yards is pretty insane. He had one of the best quarterback ratings in the league. That's trending upwards.
No, I mean, I see where you're coming from, but with Geno Smith, is he a one-hit wonder? Like, it's cool to have one great season, but I don't know if he's that great of a quarterback. Can he do it consistently? He hasn't shown it yet in the league. He's been there for a long time. It's a cool story, but I'm going to trust Matthew Stafford to come back. So I'm leaning Matthew Stafford. I just like, guys who have had so much success. Like this dude is a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. And I know he had a bad year. He was injured. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. And I think he'll come back and be successful. I'm taking 10 years of success versus one. So I'm going with Matthew Stafford. I know the injury thing concerns you, but I think you're kind of crazy to think a one-hit wonder like Geno, Smith is going to have a better season than Matthew Stafford, especially when Matthew Stafford has the best wide receiver in the league, Cooper Kupp, to throw the ball to.
I mean, a good thing it's Cooper Kupp because he's not going to be able to throw past 10 yards. The guy's shoulder's done. I'm serious. There's an article that was deleted in training camp last year that it specifically said so, and I believe it because it came through last year.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. All right, question number 2. Who is your player to watch?
My player to watch is definitely James Conner. I think he's going to be utilized greatly in this Cardinals offense. It's shown in the past. He's definitely one of the better and more reliable options. And I definitely think they're going to be a little bit more dink and dunk of an offense. It's
Guy's a
going to be the
beast.
only way they get the ball off with the way the line's looking and kind of no belief in this team beyond that. So I think he is going to be somebody you look for their success. If they're going to be stealing games, they're going to be stealing it through him and Kyler Murray's ability to kind of keep defenses honest with maybe a bit of a read option. And I'd like to see it. What do you think is a player to watch here for this next season?
I know he's, not healthy or 100% healthy right now, but I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker. He's just came back to practice as we're recording this, and I just think he's gonna be okay, and I think he's gonna do a lot of great things. He's a good running back. He's gonna have that breakout year. I'm just feeling the vibes. He's that guy who's kind of low in that fantasy rankings. That's not super high right now, but if you take him, you're gonna love him. He's that guy who's kind of next in line, I think, to be the next breakout kind of running back who puts up really elite numbers. And I think it's going to be his year. Geno takes a little bit of a downturn with his stats, and I think Kenneth Walker makes up for it and helps the Seahawks running game. And we know Pete Carroll loves to run the ball, so he's going to have opportunities. More likely to happen, the Cardinals making the playoffs or the 49ers missing the playoffs?
This 49ers defense, offense, coaching staff, special teams. This whole team looks ridiculous, but aside from the question marks at quarterback and what's going to happen, I think that'll also get solved. It just doesn't make sense. Even if I just this team's too stacked for me to see them missing the playoffs, barring crazy situations throughout the season. So I think the Cardinals making the playoffs is more likely to happen, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to agree with you, as crazy as that sounds. Because if I had to bet my life on one of these things not happening, I'm feeling really confident the 49ers make the playoffs. The Cardinals, I just don't see it with Kyler Murray question marks and just a lot of uncertainty with the roster. It's not a very good roster. It's not a very good team. And I don't think they're trying to win this year. the way they did free agency, and they let a lot of guys go, and they're not really paying a lot of people. And I would not be surprised if you see some, regular season trades releasing some of their guys with bigger contracts. I just don't think they're trying to win. I think they're tanking and trying to rebuild for the future, because I don't think they're sold on Kyler Murray / his injury. It's kind of a punt year anyway. While the 49ers, they're in full swing. They have the best roster. I know the quarterback situation kind of scares a few people, scares me, but yeah, you just got to trust Kyle Shanahan. The dude knows what he's doing. So 49ers for sure. Or I guess Cardinals to make the playoffs would miss the playoffs. Whatever. You
Right.
know what I mean.
No, no, totally understand what you're saying.
All right. Award winners. Devin Witherspoon for Defense Rookie of the Year. That's who I have. Award winners, Devin Witherspoon, Defense Rookie of the Year. I like that pick. I think he is a elite corner coming out of Illinois. Kind of, if you're not really a college guy, you might not know him or seen many of his games because he doesn't play for a big time program, big time school. The dude can ball. I think he's elite. I think he's going to have a really good season. And I think, the Seahawks, they got a nice steal right there. Who's your possible award winners this year?
I've got Kyle Shanahan winning Coach of the Year with all the uncertainty at quarterback and a lot of the different situations being presented to him throughout the year. We can definitely see him winning that, can't we?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you on that one. Yeah, no, Kyle Shanahan, I would not be surprised, especially with kind of the, I guess, media, probably, calling the 49ers kind of the darlings after how last season finished. There's probably a lot of people that felt bad for the way they, their season ended. And I could really see them hyping up the 49ers train and hyping up Kyle Shanahan. Oh, he's such, a great coach, and getting that kind of media push to win this award. So would not be surprised on that one. Well, that wraps up our quick little NFC West season kind of preview grades. What are your thoughts down below? Are we dumb? Are we wrong? Let us know. Are we right? Did we miss out on any players to watch? Let us know your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. We appreciate y'all, and see y'all next time.